And we're back. No Kenny,
Hey.
but me and DJB will carry it for this week. What you saying, my boy?
All good, man. All good. Yeah. Sorry about Wednesday, but it's the way
Mine,
it is.
man. It
But
happened.
listen, yeah, we're back, my friend. Obviously, I'm missing my right-hand man, Kenny. I'm sort of, a little bit light in defence, but hey ho.
What a defender Kenny is, man. He's about 6 foot tall and stocky as hell, man. Like sometimes
Yeah,
I see the comments, especially when you're on Dan's channel, and some of the comments with Kenny, I'm like, you definitely wouldn't say this to his face. You might not make it out, man. But yeah, people, we're here for an hour. The show gets carried. We apologize for not being here on Wednesday. Unpopular opinion, but DJB, Kenny Ken, and myself, we're all humans, innit? Things happen, but we're here now. Yeah, man. It's the international break. What are you saying, DJB, man? How's it been?
It's all good. It's all good. It's one of them minute international breaks. It's kind of it's going to come, but you're never prepared for it when it does. You know what I mean? And I watched the bits of the game, the England game yesterday. It was nice to see our boys on the score sheet, which is always nice. It's always nice to see Saka score and EZE score. The only thing is, I was watching it. I was watching Saka play with a smile on his face for England. I've not seen that for Arsenal, which is a bit worrying. Which is a bit worrying, but he's still got it. He's still got it. He's just got to bring that to the party for Arsenal now. In the next, we've got some big games coming up, so he's got to be really up for it. Really,
what comes bigger than the North London derby? Like, we've been up here throughout my whole 30 years. We've been up here. Spurs have been here. I don't care about their Europa League or anything they've done. So it's never been a game where I'm like, oh my God, this makes or breaks title hopes. But regardless, I do feel it is the biggest game in the Premier League in England, really and truly. I think it's the one derby that means something. So I'm happy in particular, because the last time you was here, I remember saying, like, when we was all saying our little pieces, I said, for me, I think the biggest thing I like is that we're just handling business. We'll get onto Sunderland people, but we've been handling business. I'm happy with our defense. Rice is in a really good groove of things. Zubimendi's doing what he's doing. All right, Eze isn't amazing, but he's not terrible. But I need the Ezes, the Sakas, the Gyökeres when he's back, the Maduekes. I need my attackers. Maybe I'm being harsh, DJB, but I kind of want my attackers to kind of shoulder the burden, if that makes sense, because I don't feel this season, 9 times out of 10, I've looked back like, well, my attackers were bloody brilliant. And if it is anybody, I can't lie, I think it's Trossard.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of them, innit, this season. I mean, if we was to put it out there and just be honest and just take away our differences of what we think of teams and certain players and the manager, and just look at the football and look at the way Arsenal are top of the league, 4 points clear for a reason, is because they're defensively as a unit have been very, very solid and been very organised. Yeah. Gabriel, Timber, even Calafiori, who I've not been a massive fan of, but give him his due this season. He's stepped up and he's done the business. So defensively, as a unit, as a team, we've been very, very solid. On top of that, we've been effective on set pieces. But if you was to then analyse the football going forward in the final third, I still think there's a lot to be improved there. I don't think
specifics better yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've
I feel the same way, but I feel when I say it, it's a broken record.
No. I just don't think we've been fluid enough going forward in the final third. I think it's been bitty. I think there's been little moments here and there. I don't think we've opened up. I don't think we've opened up teams with any kind of conviction or flair. I think we've been a little bit kind of
on a consistent basis.
Yeah, a little bit consistent, and for me that needs to improve going forward, because we all know what team's breathing down our neck that hasn't got a problem going forward. I mean,
we'll get on to City.
We saw Foden, yeah. So we all know that. So, and as I said, to win a title, you have to have everything perfect. You've got to have your final third. You've got to have your defensive setup. You've got to have your set pieces, but you've also got to be able to score from open play. Right. And in order to do that, you've got to have your top players constantly at it. Stack has been a little bit disappointing this season.
That's why I'm happy him and Eze scored. I hope that follows you in the club now.
I'm not saying he's been poor, because Saka has set a bar so high. Even a dip in form, he still looks better than a lot of players in the Premiership.
Yeah, when you've been 1 million out of 10, suddenly 20 out of 10, it don't really. Yeah, you're dying by the standards you set.
Exactly. So he's still got he's still looking okay, but he's not the Saka that we're used to. We've seen a Saka that's been outstanding, carried the team, put
100%.
loads of stuff in. So that little drop in form notices from an Arsenal perspective. Might not notice it from outsiders, but it does notice it from an Arsenal perspective. We know that he's not bang at it at the moment. Gyökeres, I know he scored goals before people turn around and says, yeah, but he scores goals. I still want a little bit more from him, if I'm honest with you, DG.
I back that as well. I'm with you.
Still want a little bit more
%.
from him. I think he tries too hard. I think what he's trying to do, he's trying to chase down. He's trying to make a lot of things happen
Presses
rather than
relentlessly.
being that central focal role in the box where he can score goals. I think he's trying too hard. I think he's trying to impress too much. And I think he just needs to go, well, hang on a minute. I'm not doing all that donkey work. I'm here to score goals. Get on the penalty spot. Get on the edge of the box. Get in and run behind defences. Right. Don't start all this madness chasing down and dropping into midfield and going out left, going out right. It's not where I want him. So but again, that's a two-way thing. That's partly Gyökeres, but partly the coaching team and the manager has got to turn around and go, no, I don't want you doing that. This is what I want. And sort of semi-build the final third attacking around
Meet halfway,
if that makes sense, Then you look on the left, Trossard. Listen, I always say that he's a squad player coming off the bench, but again, like Calafiori, I'm giving him his flowers. He's stepped up and he's produced some good football, and he looks more creative than what's coming from the right-hand side at the moment. So
definitely where Sunderland, we'll get on to Sunderland, but definitely where Sunderland's
concerned. 100%. My biggest question mark, and I see it in your title, is EZE. I've always said that he's not a left-sided midfielder. He only played there 55 times for Crystal Palace, so that's got to tell you something.
You cheated, man. You done your homework.
I always do my homework, man. You know that. So what I'm trying to say is
this guy.
It's not his best. I don't think it's his best position, and I think by a lot of fans now turning around and say put him on the left is a cop-out because the coaching team and the manager has not got the best out of him so far.
Let me stop you there, yeah, because we can stay on EZE, and I'll ask you specifically about EZE left wing, but we've been crying, and me, you, everyone, we was all together like, yo, EZE left wing, It's not, nobody was happy about Odegaard's injury, and nobody's suggesting like it's a silver lining, but we all thought, you know what? Sometimes in life, when you're throwing lemons, make some lemonade. It provides EZE with a consistent kind of run of games playing in that role. Do you think that's still down to the gaffer? And I don't think EZE's been bad, but surely he ain't grabbed that by both hands.
No. It's a mixture of both, DG. It's the system we play. We play, and he's not quite got hold of it yet. I'm not 100% blaming the coaching staff and the boss. However, when he sees a player not quite on it, or when the player it's not quite happening, it's the coach's job to change it, isn't it? Surely it's the coach's job to look at the in-game management and go, right, hang on, that ain't working. Perhaps we do need to put him out on the left. Perhaps we'll put Trossard in the false nine. Whatever. Make something happen.
Some movement going between the two, if I'm honest.
Yeah. What you don't do, you don't leave it as it is and sort of hope on a wing and a prayer that it's going to work out. Your job is to change it. So, I'm not sort of digging out the manager per se, but the guys on the
it's your job to fix these things.
It's your job to fix it. It's your job to fix it. So if you see it not quite working, you try something different. And this is what I've had the problem with in seasons gone by. I said it when Martinelli went Stow out on the left-hand side. I said, try something different. Put him in central. Because we didn't have a striker. We didn't have a striker last season. So I said, put Martinelli down the centre. Put Trossard on the left. Try something different. Against PSG, I'm saying put him down the centre. Try something. Change it up. But he didn't. He kept him out on the left, and Martinelli then lost form, and the rest is history.
Yeah.
Odegaard, when he's not shown us the form of the season he had in 2023, I've said to him, try something different, put him in the 8, try change it around, get him his mojo back, get him happy again, get him playing again. But he didn't. The manager left it and left it and left it. What happened to Odegaard? He lost form. And I'm seeing similar traits with EZE. Yeah? But EZE's got a responsibility to go, do you know what? I've got to make it happen. You know, and he's got to perhaps sort of throw his cards up in the air and just start making it all happen.
Pardon my language, but letting his nuts hang is what I felt. Because you haven't been bad. You ain't been amazing.
No.
You fitted in, you ain't stood out. Type of thing, if I'm honest with you.
He hasn't been awful. But the problem is, we were crying out. EZE was meant to come to this football club to be the most creative spark.
We're looking at you to be the man.
He was the one to light the candle and make Gyökeres score goals. He was the one that was going to unlock defences. That's what we was all crying out for. This is why we paid the money to get him at the football club, DG. And it hasn't quite worked so far. We've not really seen the EZE that we saw at Crystal Palace. We've not seen the EZE that we see last night for England in glimpses. He's had moments. I'm not saying he's been awful. So, you know, I'm not saying that. But again, I want to see more. And if you're going to dislodge the Arsenal captain from this team, you've got to give the manager a headache. You've got to go, yo, I'm here now. Yeah, but my captain's fit. He's ready to come in. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't.
Your form has to be so mad. The manager can't. He can't. Yeah, exactly. Can't.
Whereas exactly. But at the moment, Odegaard looks as if he's going to walk straight back into the team.
I think he is. I'll be real. I think he is.
Now, if he comes back, see, and this is what I said on Dan's channel the other day, and I kind of, you know, got kind of laughed at by the usual people. But when you think about it, if Odegaard comes in the team,
Eze's on the bench.
He's going to leave Trossard on the left.
Eze's on the bench.
Eze's on the bench, right? So we are facing potentially our final third lineup. Take Gyökeres out of the frame because we don't know when he's coming back. But as it stands right now, if Odegaard comes back in the team, your final third, your attacking, is no different to what it was last season. And that
it does feel last legsy, if I'm honest.
Do you know what I mean? And that attacking third, what we saw last season, didn't get us over the line. So we don't. This is not the reason why we've bought EZE and Gyökeres. We've bought EZE and Gyökeres to give us something different because we don't want man like although Marino's done brilliant up front.
Yeah, take nothing away, but we need different stuff if we want to go to a different realm, which is getting over the line.
And this is what worries me. This is what worries me because I was hoping EZE will step up. He may well do. We'll have to wait and see. But at the moment, for us to win a title and to be absolutely flawless, that final third needs to get a little bit more creative. It needs to start opening up teams a little bit more. It needs to put defensive under a bit more, kind of answer some questions. Because at the moment, you take away our set pieces. You take away Gabriel. You take away Declan Rice. There hasn't been much to shout about, is there, really, in an attacking sense?
Sunderland was one of the games, ironically, in a while where, yeah, all right, cool. From
Sunderland,
we look like we might back in
Leeds second half, but then Leeds.
I'm not even trying to. What did you say there? The second half, and I'm not trying to take anything away from my football club, but Leeds and Nottingham Forest, I kind of parked that off to the side because, like you said, like yeah, we scored the goals, and I'm happy, and DJB the same, and we're not hyper analyzing or criticizing.
100%.
But anybody who watched that game, it was kind of at the time we was kind of talking about the same things, and then the onslaught happened. All right, no worries, we keep it moving. And if I'm really, really illogical and harsh, you should be doing them kind of results against Leeds and things. Sunderland might be a step in the right direction because we actually look like we could create chances, but I don't feel as much as the media when they say we can't create and things, but clearly there's individually and collective things we need to do in the attack. And when you're looking at playing the games that we've got and just in general, you want to marry that great defense and the Rice and the Zubis and all these guys with our attack. Because if I'm honest with you, take nothing away from Trossard, but parking Trossard off to the side, a player that a lot of people wanted sold, Eze, Saka, Gyökeres, different dynamics. We're not talking about you lot in the same vein. And I'm kind of happy Trossard scored beyond the obvious, and it was a screamer at that, because I actually think Trossard in the game, maybe you're different, and we might as well speak about Sunderland. I felt we was a bit more, at least in the initial stages, we looked like we're going to make something happen down the left a lot more. And I just felt Trossard was a level above his attacking peers, if I'm honest with you, DJB.
He was the one that stood out in moments. For
Exactly.
me. He was the one that sort of stood out. But what got me with the Sunderland game, and I knew it was going to be a tricky affair. I mean, I backed the boys and said we'd win 2-1, we'd stink the place out.
I went with 2-0.
I said 2-1 or 2-0. I knew it wasn't going to be easy. I knew it wasn't going to be anything like Burnley, because you've got to give Sunderland respect. And I don't think a lot of people have given the respect. They're a good team. You know, they're very powerful at home. They're relying on their home form to keep them in.
You look at the table; they deserve respect. They're overperforming.
And they're at the, they're full for a reason, because they deserve it. They're very organised. They work tirelessly, and they're physical. And I was told that this Arsenal team wouldn't get bullied. I was told that this Arsenal, all them days had gone. Them days had gone. Gone are the days where we go to places like Sunderland, when we were doing the predictions and the pre-matches. Oh, no, them days are over. This Arsenal team won't get bullied like it was. That's all gone now. We can go to places like Sunderland, you know. And I'll be honest with you, large parts of that game, we was bullied. We was physically outplayed. We was bullied, and Sunderland deserved the draw. I mean, I'm hearing fans say that we deserve to win. I don't see it. I think a draw is probably about a fair result, to be honest.
I make you right, DJB, because I think sometimes football's a weird game. Over 38 games, you're going to win when you deserve to lose. You're going to lose when you deserve to win. You're going to draw when it's a bit indifferent. Every now and again, you're going to get a performance, or better yet, a result that deserves it. I feel there's moments in the game where Sunderland and Arsenal could say they were better. Obviously, I don't know about anyone else, but I've always had the mentality, definitely where the game is now. If you can see 2 goals, you can't really complain that you ain't won in it. Yeah, you might get them 3-2 victories. You can't really do that in the Premier League.
No.
So I think there was moments. I don't know how do you look at it, because I don't know how I look at it, DJB, because maybe a draw was what should have happened, because they're in great form, we're in great form, all the tactics and stuff. But obviously, we was behind at one point, they was behind at one point, we was leading at one point, they was leading at one point. So it's like, is it a point gained or 2 points dropped? Kind of not focusing about what it meant for the league table race and that, like, just with the 90 minutes.
A harsh reality, DG, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to go down about the money spent. We all know how much has been spent on this football team, right? So I'm not going to hit that home and score points. But what I'm trying to say is, we are the bigger club. We are chasing the Premiership title. We're the ones that have been in the Premiership a lot longer than Sunderland.
We knew the game on Sunday.
The team has been branded one of the best teams in Europe. Some have said we are the best team in Europe. Some have said we're the best team in the world. All this madness, right? So really, the ball was in our court. I know they were the home team, but that's 2 points drop. When you're going for the Premiership title, you got to, unfortunately, no matter how good Sunderland are playing, you have to go and win them games.
Especially being 2-1 up 15 minutes away from the end. Yeah, really.
They're the games you got to win. And when you have fought the battle and won the war, and you're 2-1 up, you've got to find a way to close them games out. You have to.
Facts.
You know, there's no excuses. There's no like, injuries and we didn't have anyone on the bench or all that. You've got a squad that you should be trusting. Because we've heard it. We've heard squad depth. People have come on and they've said, the squad depth now. We've got Dowman, we've got Wanyeri, we've got this, we've got that. You've got to use it. You've got to trust your squad. You can't keep relying on the famous 5 or the same 5 players all the time. You have to get the rotation in there. So going on from that, we should have been in a position where we closed the game out. The man management should have come into it. And this is what we've seen. These are the question marks. We're not saying that he's not improved. We're not saying that he's not going to do it. But question marks are still there. Because again, final moments, big game, you're 2-1 up. You're looking at your coaching staff on the sideline. What are you going to do to get us over the line? And we conceded. Now, if that's a Champions League semi-final, or if that's a Champions League first leg at the Emirates, and you're 2-1 up against man like Barcelona or something like that.
You better make sure you're in the next round.
And you're going to Spain 2-2.
Even at 2-1, but you'd take that over 2-2.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say,
you're right. I'll make you right.
What I'm trying to say, see, I look at the bigger picture, DG. I don't just sit in the moment. You've got to look at the bigger picture. All these things have happened before. PSG semi-final, Newcastle, things like this. When we went to a poor Tottenham team and we had to win there to get top 4, and we got done.
We got bopped in
Newcastle, we got done that season. So all these question marks are still hanging around, right? And that was the first time this season that we've actually been under pressure, that we're behind chasing. We get in front, now go and see the game out, because that's what top teams do and top elite managers do. They walk out of there with 3 points.
So let me ask you this, DJB, like, before we kick, because I like where we're going with the Arteta stuff, but for the players, like, what went right and what went wrong? Because obviously we got ourselves back in the game and was 2-1 up, and then we've conceded. I feel both the goals were shoddy. I think it was a bit indifferent, but like for you, like, yeah.
Look, it's one of them, right? It's one of them. I this is my personal point of view. It might not, you don't have to agree with it. I think he should have made more than one substitution.
Oh, you're not alone. You are
and
not
alone. And the reason, let me give me the reason.
Declan Rice looked knackered.
Let me give me the reason why. We're up against a Prague side 2-0 after 46 minutes. The game's won. Prague never going to get back into that game. So he leaves Declan Rice on for 82 minutes, right? Declan Rice in that Prague game should have been substituted after 50-odd minutes and rested. So come against Sunderland, when you're battling, getting on the physical side of the game, you're closing players down, you're chasing a 1-0 deficit, you're trying to get ahead. The players had run out of legs. We'd lost our midfield. Declan Rice had gone. Stacker chased the ball down and then he was out the picture for about 20, 30 seconds. He weren't running back. So 2 of your main players were gone physically. So it's not the problem bringing on Mosquera. That ain't the problem. I'm not knocking bringing on Mosquera, but what he should have bought an outlet on. We had no outlet. We had no legs. We had no one to get us up the field. We had no one to draw a free kick in dangerous areas. Dowman and Wanyeri does that. They get on the turn, players bring them down, they win a free kick, you ponce about over a free kick, but waste some time, 2-3 minutes to take a free kick, you kill the game. Silence the crowd, kill the game. And we didn't do that. Where was the dark arts? We saw a lot of it last season. We haven't seen it this, we didn't see it against Sunderland, and we should have done.
Is that on the players, DJB?
We should have done. We should have seen. We should have seen. It's a bit of both, really. But we didn't have that outlet. There was players on there tired, and straight away when he made that. I mean, you've played the game, DG, and I've played the game.
This is why I make you right.
When you're on the back foot, we had them. We had the game won at 2-1. The crowd was silent. When you're on, and then we should have gone for it. Or we should have bought on some more substitutions. But what you've done, you've then opened the door to Sunderland by making that one substitution, which is defensive. Straight away, man like Granit Xhaka and all the Sunderland boys have gone, hang on a minute. They've still got players on there that are absolutely knackered. Let's go for it. We've got nothing to
they're scared. Let's go for it. And they're bullish because the first 10, 11, 11 we've got 10 games are on it.
To win the game anyway. So what you've done, you've just opened the door for them. They've gone, right, okay, we'll get something out of this game. The manager sensed it. Sunderland players sensed it. So it's a mistake. It's a mistake. And, you can say it's the players' fault. You can say it's the manager's fault.
Yeah, because Raya, I'm going to be real. Raya is in no man's land. Magalhaes.
Yeah. It's a mixture. It's a whole mixture.
It's a mixture of both.
It was a mess.
It's just a mixed bag. That's the way I look at Sunderland. It was a mixed bag.
But you can look at the root cause though, and I've been selling this about. Listen, I've got.
No, say your truth.
I've got to mention it. Before I mention the name, I won't even mention the name. I'll just tell you a rundown of my defensive midfield player, what I expect from a defensive midfield player when I've seen man like Patrick Vieira, when I've seen ballers over the years in that position.
Vieira, right? The list goes on.
Right. My defensive midfield player is you're the first line of that defence. And when things are getting tough and the tough gets going, you get your foot in, you don't get bullied, you don't get pushed off the ball, you don't get easily taken out of position, you don't get drawn out of position. When you're marking, you go and win the ball. We haven't got a number 6 to do that. Zubimendi is brilliant on the ball when he's got space.
My heart, man.
Nah, he's brilliant on the ball when he's got space. He's an intelligent player when he's got time. But he's a number 6 for Arsenal Football Club. When you're going to places like Sunderland, you've got to be braver. You've got to be a lot more solid. You've got to be a lot more.
What about Rice for the goals, though?
Listen,
because me and you both love Rice. I think I do too much with Rice,
and it's not the first time this season.
100%.
Right? He's been dispossessed and he's been found out when he's been put under pressure quite a few times. That's worrying, because if you're going to the Etihad in April and you need 3 points, and that man gets pushed off the ball, or he loses possession in a defensive midfield player, Foden gets on it, rattles one bottom corner, we've lost the league.
God forbid, but you're right.
This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. So he has to learn, and he has to learn very quickly. If you're in that position, I don't care what you do. Draw a foul, give a free kick away, take a yellow card. You're not getting pushed off the ball.
That's why I go back to your game management point, because like with Zubimendi in particular, I think Rice is getting away with murdering that game as much as I rate him. But that's why I think you're right, because you mentioned the Zubimendi point. When you mentioned Zubimendi's name, I actually didn't think Sunderland. I went back to the Liverpool game where a lot of players could have come off. The tide was turning against us, and I was thinking, Arteta, get one of them off. Obviously, Zubi's given away the free kick, and Szoboszlai's done what he's done, but that's where I think it's that game, bro, was for me. It was a sobering reminder. As much as people like you, me, we get excited when we win, we're upset when we lose, but we can understand the bigger question. Nothing said till May. Naturally, we've been winning, we've been keeping clean sheets, we've been doing whatever. I would say for all Arsenal fans, whether they're like me and you, or you come on, man, you're on the panels with half of them, and I speak to them as well. Their heads are in the ferries when we win. They're saying madness and doing madness. I think it was a reminder that relax a bit real, let's calm down a little bit. There's a lot of football. But then that leads me to ask you this, DJB, like, how do you feel about City down on next and the fact that it's 4 points? Because 4 points potentially before we kick our next ball could turn into one if Newcastle can't do us a favour against City.
It's nothing. DG, it's nothing. 4 points is nothing. When you're getting 3 points for a win, 4 points is nothing. 6 points ain't anything in this league. We were 8 points clear and it was nothing. It wasn't enough. Come on, man. You got to look at the big. But this is what I'm saying. We're not being chased down by Newcastle, no disrespects, or anyone like that. We're being chased down by a team that's been there, done it, seen it, time and time and time again. We're being chased down by players that are used to winning silverware. We're being chased down by a manager that's elite, that's won everything. Absolutely elite. Knows what it's like. He's already changing tactics. Look how Doku's playing. Look at Foden coming back. I've been told that, you take Haaland out the City team, they're nothing. Well, Doku's coming on form. Foden's coming back on form.
Even that Nico Gonzalez, who couldn't buy a game.
Again, I was laughed at, but you got Kovacic and Rodri to come back. Would walk into most teams in that Premiership. Probably Kovacic and Rodri would probably push man like Rice and Zubimendi. Certainly Zubimendi.
Rodri starts for Arsenal.
Exactly. They're all coming back. So when you're talking about Man City, I hear this all the time. Oh, but they're not the same team. Well, if they're not the same team, why are they only 4 points behind the so-called best team in Europe? If Arsenal have played that brilliantly all season, and they've played all this scintillating stuff, why are they only 4 points behind if they're not the same team?
This is why football's a long thing, and when you look at City, Liverpool, all these teams, it's too early to draw conclusions, man.
It's just craziness. It's just craziness that people are saying they're not the same team. We're not the same team. We're not the same team that we were in 2022, 23. We've not played half this football that I've seen.
I hope so.
Even now with these new signings, I'm still yet to see it. We've got over we've won games. We've won games and we've been defensively solid. But we're not the same team of what I saw. We're not the same team of what I saw that 22-23 season when Odegaard was slapping in 15 goals and Saka was scoring for fun.
I need my attackers to
we
do
was
a bit
blowing
more.
teams, and we was blowing teams away for like silliness and all of that. We're not the same team. So this is what I'm trying to say. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. And when you're going to places like Sunderland, everyone has to step up. You know, whether you think Zubamendi or Partey or anything like that, you've got to step up. You've got to
get the job done, and we've got the job done in previous games. Really, on this occasion, it didn't. So that leads me to ask you, like, obviously, that's 2 draws and a loss. Other than that, we've got 3 points. Are we exaggerating then? I've got to ask these questions.
Yeah, there is. There probably is. There probably is, and I've probably been to blame for that. I'll hold my hands up as well. I over-exaggerated. I probably over-exaggerated a little bit on the 2-2 draw. However, you got battle scars, haven't you, DG? You know, you've seen it. You've seen it. It's frustrating.
You don't want these to come back and bite you on the arse.
Yeah, you know, you're thinking, hang on a minute, you're making similar to mistakes that you done last season and the season before. Go out, get that 3 point. You come away. Look, if he'd have done the right thing and made the right substitutions, and the players that have done their job.
I'm on to Arteta for that. You only use 1 sub. That's
right
despicable.
In the key areas. If they'd have done the right thing in the key areas, and the manager had done the right thing, we're 7. You know, we're sitting there pretty clear of Man City at the moment, in a very, very good position.
Especially with the game that followed the next day, and obviously knowing now
what we did. I'm hearing, oh, you got to give him time. You got to give him time. You got to give this time and that time.
Now we need to win stuff.
DG, we've had time, man. We're 6 years.
No, it's time to win shit.
How much time? How much more? I can't be giving any more time. I'm going pretty much every game. You know what I mean? I can't give any more time.
I'm paying thousands of quid.
Time. I'm £1 billion in now, and 6 years in. Zubamendi, these players, when they come to the club and they sign for the club, they ain't got time. There's no credit in the bank. This is what people don't realise. There's no credit in the bank. There's no Premiership titles, Champions League titles, major honours. There's none of that. They have to hit the ground running. They're playing
that's the realm we're trying to get into.
They're playing for Arsenal Football Club. We're chasing big things. We ain't got time. Oh, yeah, but give Zubamendi time. Why?
He can have as much time as he wants. The rest of the boys and the manager.
Listen, you don't need time. You just need to do your job. You just need to be defensively solid and not get bullied. Yeah? Gorka They need to find a way to get him more in central positions, in more goal-scoring positions, rather than being this kind of running around like a headless chicken and just chasing everything down number 9. You know, that's up to them to sort that out. EZE, you need to get the best out of EZE. That's what you're a manager for. He's not the new kid on the block, DG. He's been at the job long enough now. He's not, you know, when you've got certain fans putting him in the top 3 managers in the world. Come on.
Then then the questions are going to be right, really.
The question, if you're prepared to put man up that high, then he's got to start making sure that he gets over the line this season.
I'll tell you, it'd be top 5 for me.
That's all we're asking.
You wouldn't be top 3.
That's all we're asking.
You wouldn't be top 3 for me. You'd be top 5 for what it's worth. Like, I'd have Luis Enrique. Purely philosophy.
Listen, I mean, you know, it's as I said to you before, he's done great things, and I know he's done great things, and he's got us to where we've got us. He's got us competing and all of that stuff. But now
get over the line.
Now's the time to deliver. And the problem is, going back to your question, is it an overreaction? I think it's always going to be an overreaction because we're so desperate, DG. We're so desperate. Do you know what I mean?
But there's a history behind the overreaction.
Yeah, it is. So everyone is watching what Arsenal do this season. And any little slip up is going to be questioned.
So where you at with Liverpool as well? Like, because we spoke on City, where you at with? Are they out of it now? Like, for you, like Liverpool is just a straight shootout. Arsenal and City.
You know football, DG. You've only got. Listen, you've only got to have 3 bad results. If we go and draw against Spurs and lose against Chelsea and Liverpool win 2, they're not out of it. That's a simple.
can't.
I know it's an old. Most of your fans will turn around and go, Liverpool washed, they're done, they're finished, it's over. Yeah, because
over 20 games left.
they can only see red and white Arsenal Football Club, Mikel Arteta. That's all they see.
Or next week.
Everything don't matter now. But I tell you now, if we draw against Spurs and we lose against Chelsea and Liverpool rack up a couple of results, because City will.
And that's my fear, man. I don't think
City ain't going anywhere.
I think they lose the next week, if anything.
You know, and this is what I'm saying. So you can't when you've got teams like Liverpool with the players they've got, yeah, form drops out the window in stages, but eventually, you know as well as I do, Salah's going to bag a 3 or 4
He'll find
goals.
his feet.
Yeah, TK will come back, score goals. Isak, when he's back up and running and he's fully fit, will start scoring goals.
I'm actually reliant on the manager of Liverpool. Ancelotti not making it work.
Like people are saying to us, give Zubimendi time. Well, they're giving Wirtz time, but you know he's going to come good. He looked pretty half decent the other day. I thought that was one of his better games the other day, by the way, Wirtz, when I watched him. So they're all going to come good. You can't just go, they're washed, they're done, they're finished. At the moment, it looks that way. But it's only 2 or 3 results. And this is what, when you're chasing a premiership, you've got to be flawless. You have to be flawless. It's week in and week out. So there is going to be, of course, there's going to be action. Arsenal Football Club going to Sunderland, newly promoted Sunderland, 2-1 up. And we come out of there with a 2-2 draw, and we're expected to go, it don't matter. It's a nice day out. It's
definitely going to be nice. Yeah, there's going to be nice.
Had a few nice beers, had a nice something to eat. Lovely, great. Mikel Arteta, fantastic. 1 sub, 4 players knackered. Brilliant. Yeah, no problem. No questions.
And that's the thing. Like, I think that was like what we were saying. I think that was a sober reminder. For what it's worth, beyond what we've spoken about, I think there was plenty of proactiveness Arteta could have shown. I wouldn't have even taken off Declan Rice, and I'm a hypocrite because I said to you several times, Rice looked knackered. But I understand keeping Rice out there. Like, you're not going to be comfortable. For me, not to see Hincapié, not to see Miles Lewis-Skelly, not to see even a little Norgard in there. It's one of those, innit? Arteta, you've got to hold that. The players have got to hold that.
Trust the depth.
Trust the depth, exactly that. Like, I'm not even one of them fans. I'm not like if out of Dalman and Wanyeri, like 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna lean towards Dalman in it. But I understand the way the game went. It weren't a game for kids, innit? But if you're not gonna bring on Dalman and you say, all right, cool, he's 15. Wanyeri, even like what you said earlier about your point about wasting time and winning fouls. So I think from Mikel Arteta's perspective, he could have learned better. I think for the players, you weren't terrible in the first half, but it weren't good enough. I think for large parts of the second half, you was brilliant. Obviously, you got yourself back in the game. You did well in patches. The 2 goals for one of the best defensive teams in the Premier League in Europe. You're not going to have to hold that. And for me, take nothing away from Trossard. And I know there's other factors. A couple players have been signed, the tactics and all that. I shouldn't be saying Trossard's our best attacking player in November. Like, take nothing away from Trossard because I think people are disrespectful with him. But the Sakas, the Ezes, the Yokereses, you ain't played a part, but the Kai Havertzes, the Maduekes. After this international break, I need whatever we're doing in defense and whatever we're doing in midfield with Zubimendi and Rice to continue. But I need to be sitting here when you're on my platform and Kenny Ken as well. And we're saying, flipping hell, Saka bagged the hat trick, Yokerez could get the golden boot, and Eze this and that. I need my attackers to start scumbagging me 3 points, if I'm honest with you. Like, I really believe that. And I think with Eze, I think you fit it. It's not going to make sense, but it's like you fitted in, you fat in, if that's even a word. You haven't kind of stood out. But I'm not going to write off any players couple of games into your season, innit? It's just I need to see a bit more. For me, the issue is like what you said there. It's like we could have had our cake and eaten it, essentially, innit? It's like you got your 3 points. Liverpool and City, someone's got to lose, innit? Even if you draw, you both lose. You both drop points. But it kind of is what it is. And it would have been a bit of a, if you can say it, because on form something amazing, a bit of an insurance policy, because you touched on it. Like, you've got the North London derbies, the Chelseas, Brentford, I'm sure, Bayern Munich, and now it's going to come down to if Mikel Arteta can pivot and things of that ilk. I wanted to ask you a question as well, yeah. Like, Where are you at with this whole, because it's the international break, where are you at with this whole Calafiori injury and Miles Lewis-Skelly's leaving and stuff? I know you've 100% looked at it and seen it. Like, where are you at with them two in the whole that stuff?
I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think Skelly's done anything wrong, really. I mean, Calafiori's just played better.
Just taking his chance and run with
Skelly hasn't done anything wrong. So if Skelly was to come back in the team and Calafiori's injured, I wouldn't be too worried. In actual fact, he gives us that little bit more quality in midfield, because I always say that you can rest Rice. And I've been banging on about Skelly's a midfield player for
you have now. Every stream I've had you on, you tried to.
I'm not blowing my own trumpet, but I was going on streams over a year ago saying that this Skelly's not a left back. He's not a left back. He's a midfield.
Put Rice on the right hand side. Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle.
So for me, he's the sort of player that you could bring in on the midfield, to be a little bit creative and stuff like that. If you was to rotate certain players. I think it's a lot of paper talk with Skelly. I think you get a lot of this hype during the international break.
Or during a down period,
Yeah, someone's got onto it. They've been monitoring it. They're monitoring Wanyeri. Who'd have thought, I mean, I'm saying put him out on loan, and now apparently, you
have to be fair.
There's clubs monitoring Wanyeri. So listen, when you've got talent at a football club and they're not getting game time, and other clubs are trying to get into Europe and stay in the Premiership and all of this, or get promoted from the Championship, whatever, you're going to have clubs come sniffing. You're going to have clubs saying, excuse me, but has he got a role to play? Not really. Well, is there any chance we can sit down with your man and have a little loan deal or something like that? So you're going to have clubs come sniffing. That's just part of... When you've got talent at your club, that's what happens. Look at Brighton; they've been raided for years, So
and we'll get raided again.
I don't think Skelly will go anywhere. I think he's got a big part to play. Calafiori being injured, it's on his CV, isn't it? He's another one that's a little bit injury prone.
It makes me nervous, though, D man, because he's had a lot in a run of form.
He's had a lot of injuries. I'm not so worried if Calafiori's injured and Skelly steps in. My biggest worry is this, and the chat might disagree or might disagree. Hincapié, for me, I've not seen enough of. And when I have seen him...
he ain't been available, man.
He's done okay. He's physical. I wouldn't say he's outstanding, but he's done okay. But now look at it this way. If I was to say to you Hincapié and Gabriel together... not looking too bad. Gabriel, main man at centre-back, doing really well this season. Hincapié alongside him, okay. If you was to take Gabriel out and play Hincapié and Saliba for a run of games through your Christmas period, with Skelly at left-back, Timber / Ben White at right-back, suddenly the bridesmaid's looking a bit ugly, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Do you put mascara in if that's the case? Because I hear it like Hincapié. I make you right. But like, do you put Saliba left-sided and mascara in there?
You've got to look at the different permutation, because Saliba's done okay. He's done all right, and he's still a class player. I'm a massive Saliba fan. Huge Saliba fan.
Not be.
I think he's brilliant. But he ain't done what Gabriel's done this season. So Hincapié...
Gabriel's the leader in our defence, man. Let's have it right. Like, he's the guy.
Right.
We probably miss Gabriel more than a Saliba, beyond the obvious. Right. Like, Arsenal fans will get that. Other fans will be like, oh my God, you don't rate Saliba.
So this is what I'm saying. So now where Calafiori injured, Skelly comes in. That's fine, because you've got Saliba and Gabriel. You still got Timber on the right. Timber gets injured, Ben White right back, Skelly left back.
It makes you nervous, but we can still live life, if that makes sense.
Still live life, although Ben White's had a lot of injuries and he's come back in.
You are nervous, but you're like, all right, we can move. Yeah. But what nervous.
I'm saying is, I always say with Arsenal, there's 4 probably key players. If we're going to win titles and go all the way in the Champions League, there's 4 key players.
Let me guess them before you say them.
You need to wrap up in cotton wool and play.
Let me guess them before you say them.
If they're not available, we're looking pretty ordinary.
Let us know, but let me know if I got them right, before you say them. Let me just guess them. Declan Rice. Declan Rice. All right, Saka.
Yeah. Even though he's got to step up. Yeah.
Yeah, no. Gabriel.
Yeah.
So that's 3. Part of me wants to say Saliba. Part of me wants to say
no. I think we could do a job with, if long as Gabriel's in there, we could probably miss Saliba for a couple of games. Timber, massive.
Fair enough. All right, cool.
They're the 4. You can probably get away with Zubimendi because Norgard can come in, or we can get other cover there. We can play, right? Obviously, Raya the goalkeeper, but
I don't want to see Kepa. Big up Kepa, but I don't want to see that.
Big up Chris. But what I'm saying is, you potentially line up, right? Now, bearing in mind we've spoke about our attacking prowess this season, it's not been fully flowing. So you potentially line up with Ben White, Hincapié, Saliba, Skelly, Norgard.
It's not bad, but in reality, it's not. Yeah.
Zubimendi. Now, with City breathing down your neck, now we're looking at the squad depth. We're not bouncing our way to the Emirates now with that lineup.
There's a bit of nerves. There's a couple more pints going down before the game. A couple more men are drinking a couple of more pints.
You're looking like that. You're like, oh my God.
No, but then even that, DJB, I don't make you wrong here, because I think me and you look at it the same way, in that obviously we contextualize if there's injuries, fluidity and all of that. But a lot of people talk about the depth. So there are a section of Arsenal fans that can't cry about that then, because there's depth there, in it. Like they can all step in.
No, exactly.
The only issue is it means dynamics in midfield probably have to change with us not having that.
But what I'm saying is, right, if we are worried about that, and you've got a manager in certain moments that don't trust what's on his bench, the manager's saying is questioning the squad depth. If he's not bringing Nwaneri on fresh legs and stuff like that, if he's not bringing Norgard, Premiership experience, Premiership proven player, big boy, bring him into the midfield. Play 5 in midfield against Sunderland. Pack it out. Make it up.
I can't lie. I thought that's what he was going to do. I know technically we went to kind of flip it back, but I thought Norgard, Hincapié, Miles Lewis-Skelly, mid-deep blocks. He could have took Saka off. He could have put Norgard in there. He could have packed out the midfield. He could have made it ugly, right? So if the manager's not trusting his squad depth, why are we wrong for questioning a potential lineup if there was injured players? We should always question things, and it doesn't have to be positive or negative.
I'm going to be honest with you. Listen, we've got a brilliant squad, and this squad is good enough to win silverware. I thought last season's squad was good enough to win a Carabao Cup.
You said that several times.
Minimum, right? This squad should be winning trophies. FA Cup, Carabao Cup.
Well, you got 4 opportunities. Something needs, if not more than one, something needs to be here in May 2026. Or it's a failure.
However, I am level-headed when it comes to the squad. If all our players are fit, and we've got our full 11 out there, and they're all buzzing, we've got a really, really good chance. But I'm not going to be overexcited, because I've still got question marks whether the actual depth is good enough when you're chasing a Premiership and Champions League. If I'm lining up with Norgard and Zubimendi, Ben White at right back, Skelly at left back, and Kepié with Saliba.
I'll back Skelly, but the others.
You're back with Havertz as your number 9, for example. There's question marks for me. So, you know what I mean? So I'm a little bit more open-minded. I'm not saying
let me ask you this, DJB. Yeah, go on. Oh, say no. I didn't want to cut you.
No.
If Arsenal's strongest lineup at this moment in time, if everybody's fit, blah blah blah, is probably Raya, Saliba, Gabriel, Saliba, Timber, Calafiori, Zubimendi, Rice. Probably, to make this easy, I'll say Odegaard in the 10, Eze out wide. I know Trossard's full.
Yeah.
Saka and obviously Gyökeres. But so that would be our 11, or loosely. People might caveat a couple of players, but if we just say loosely, like how many of the players, for all the talk around the depth here, how many of our players in a fully fit 11 do you think genuinely challenged the starting 11? So, like, if Calafiori is playing left back, obviously Miles Lewis-Skelly could do that.
Really?
How many of the players do you think actually challenged that?
This is it. When you're talking squad depth, right, and when we sign players, I wanted players that would be an upgrade. I wanted players that would be a massive upgrade. And when I'm talking about as you the 11 you've just announced there, I'm struggling on our bench because Hincapié ain't going to dislodge Saliba and Gabriel, right? Norgard ain't going to dislodge Zubamendi or Rice. Wanyeri ain't going to dislodge Odegaard, Eze or Saka. You know, Havertz by right.
In the manager's mind, he might play ahead of Gyökeres, but
Havertz should not really be dislodging Gyökeres, even though Havertz suits Arteta's system better.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's be real. Havertz suits Arteta's system better than Gyökeres, without a doubt. So when you talk about squad depth, you're talking about players that come in if needed. There's a big difference. Players if needed or players starting when you're chasing champs and Premier Leagues is completely different. If needed, player gets injured. If needed, player gets suspended. If needed, players, you know. But what you should have is a squad where you pick your first 11 and no matter who you call upon, you know them men are coming on the pitch. And if they're playing for like 2 or 3 games, you're quietly confident that they're going to get you over the line and win champs and Premier Leagues. But you're right, DG. Yeah. I mean, out of that starting 11, whether you put Eze on the left or whatever, you know, if Eze don't step up, obviously Trossard or Martinelli could dislodge him. But again, I mean, my argument is we bought a number 9, but our backup number 9 is 2 midfield players. People forget Havertz is not a striker. Marino is not a striker.
We just failed upwards with that.
So
Marino was a necessity thing, if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. So Gyökeres is injured. We're back to playing a midfield player as a number 9. And credit where credit's due. Marino has done brilliant. I'm not saying he hasn't done brilliant.
It's a different thing if
we're
looking
at 25,
want
to see him in midfield for this football club. But as a number 9, he's done brilliant. I mean, I've seen Milk turn quicker than him in midfield. I'm sorry. It's like, poor man. Come on. You know? But like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to see man in midfield, but as a number 9, he's done wonders.
Do you know what's so mad, DJB, is that Marino looks better in midfield when he's dropping in from up front. When he actually organically starts in midfield, it's I've seen.
Yeah, it's cringing, isn't it, DG? I'm glad you're with me on that. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
I'm with you. He's always on the floor and shit. Like,
yeah.
It's up front. I'll be real, DJB. It's either up front or nothing for Marino for me. But the odd game, exactly. I'm not really on it.
100%. You know, it's either Marino's either up front or he's nowhere. He's like bench or he just comes on to bulk out the midfield.
I like him as well. It's just the reality.
Yeah, it is the reality. If it's 94th minute and if it's 94th minute, bring Norgard, Marino on, pack out the midfield, make it ugly, just get over the line. I'm not worried. But no. I don't want to see him in midfield. But this is what I'm trying to say, my friend. This is where we're at. You know, Gyökeres has been injured, and we haven't really got a number 9 to come in and do the business.
So you said him to the kid.
When you're talking squad depth. Oh, you know, this is why I'm saying I'm not knowing where people are getting this kind of best squad in Europe, best squad in the world. The squad depth is better. We've got a better squad now than when we was at Highbury and all of this nonsense.
Nah, it's the defensive ranks, if anything.
Come on, man.
The defensive unit is the only place you could say, all right, cool. You got 2 international goalkeepers. And
although it was found out against Sunderland, but on the whole,
yeah. I don't know what Ryan was doing. Maybe he needs to be tested a bit more. But you got 2 international keepers. You got a bunch of centre half options.
I know what Ryan was doing. I know. I'll tell you what Ryan was doing. He didn't call. He's in
no man's land. When you come out, you got to make it. You have to.
What Ryan done was classic goalkeeping, right? Classic goalkeeping.
I like where he's
about. They come for the ball, and then their backside falls out, and they go, "Whoa, I don't fancy that." And then they were caught in no man's land.
And then you're pissed. And pardon my language.
And he comes out as if he's going to pray. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. The 2 goals I would say would be the thing I think that the club and the players, they'll be the most disappointed about, because you are one of the best defensive teams in Prem and by default in Europe. You won't be happy with the 2 goals you conceded. 100%. And to be fair, like me and you are focusing on the guys that you'll see in the highlights, but there's several aspects of where guys could have done better. We share the W's, we share the L's. It is what it is. Football's decided in both boxes, and we didn't do enough against Sunderland. It is like it is what it is. So on the face of it, I wouldn't say it's a mixed bag, and I make you right in that there is a slight over exaggeration by everybody, myself included, because we are of the mentality that every game's a cup final. City and Liverpool,
and we're desperate. DJ,
and we're desperate. And in the last few games, really and truly, it hasn't quite mattered what the hell City or Liverpool have done with whoever they're facing. We've just been handling business. It's just those fine margins. And on the face of it, you could say maybe a draw was to be expected. Maybe it's a sobering reminder, but we could have done better. And I would have loved that insurance policy going into these run of games, if I'm completely honest. I've said this to you before, yeah, and it sounds mad. And it's not to say that I'm not scared, but naturally you're playing some heavy hitters. You're playing Chelsea, you're playing Bayern, you got Brentford. I won't quite say Spurs is that, but
we've got Villa on paper, twice. We've got an informed Villa twice, home and away
twice with Emre and all of that jazz. I was more scared about the bogey teams.
DG, sorry to interrupt you, but
no, go ahead.
I was on my channel the other day. I was looking at it the other day with Matty. Big up, Matty.
Make sure you subscribe and shout out Matty as well.
We was looking at the fixtures. And I think Wolves, really, no disrespect to Wolves. So
they're the only one you're like, you should be beating them
up,
really.
Team. But at the moment, Wolves is about the only real banker that we play between now and Christmas. All of the teams we play are in and around the top half. That's Bournemouth away. We've got Brentford. We've got Villa twice. We've got Spurs. We've got Chelsea. You know, we've got all these teams. And these teams are tough. And you can't go in there when you can't play these teams when they're chasing conference leagues and Europe and stuff like that. You can't. And remember, these teams listen to what we say. Oh, best team in Europe, Premiership favourites.
They want to be the team to smash you in.
They're going to want to get one over on us. They're not going to lay down. Look at the fixtures.
And Ranieri's apparently playing for under 21.
Look at the fixtures, right? They're not going to lay down. So you need a fully fit team. You need to trust your depth, not trust the process, trust the depth. When you can rest Rice, when you're 2-0 up against Prague, you get that man off in the 52nd minute, not the 81st.
Facts.
He's your weapon. He's our most prolific player. Without Rice, we don't score half the goals we score this season. Because he's set pieces has been on the money. You take him out of that, City are top of the league. Pure and simple.
But this is the thing, DJB. People look at me like I'm being greedy when I say, obviously, when everyone's fit, we can maneuver, and there's a lot of games, and I understand you've got to sign X amount. You can only have X amount on the bench and on the pitch. But I genuinely feel, nobody can tell me that we don't need a left winger. We couldn't do, I'm not saying it's a priority, but we couldn't do with another striker in the mix. If Anus can do that, if Havertz can come back and be that, great. But another striker, a left winger. But I want to focus on central midfield. Nobody can convince me we don't need another 8. Take nothing away from Rice. I don't really care that Rice is playing in this role because he's effing amazing.
You're in more camp, DJ. I've been saying it for ages.
I said it and another 6 to go with Norgard as well. Shout out Norgard, because I think, ironically, we both wanted you to come on against Sunderland. They were the kind of, that's the kind of angle I was going with when we signed Norgard. Games like this, experience, 30 plus years of age, Danish international. Respectfully to him, he's been at Brentford and all of that, where you know that when you're
he's good enough to come on for 10 minutes to see a game out.
You see, you said it there. I don't need to waffle anymore. You said it there. I think we need that. I don't know how it all fits in. It's above my pay board. I'm not Mikel Arteta with his coaching badges. I'm not Berto with what he's done.
No,
but I think that's the next step.
Yeah.
If I'm honest. You mentioned it as well. Like, I got to ask you. Go on.
No, I mean, there's room for Skelly to come in as an 8, because I've always said that, I've always said that if I was to pick a hole in this midfield of Arsenal, my question marks with Zubimendi as an absolute hard defensive midfield player, which I think you need in this setup.
He's not that.
Right? And he's not that. Right? And that's my biggest worry. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but defensively, I've got question marks over
That's
him.
what I'm saying. You bring a 6 in that.
Yeah.
He just keeps it simple. He just locks it down.
Declan Rice.
Oliver's saying here, I'm on this. Left wing, 8, 6.
Yeah. Declan Rice gives you coverage. He covers everywhere. He's good on the ball. He's brilliant with a dead ball, free kicks, corners, all of that stuff. He tries to link up the.
World class.
He's an outlet that defenses will always. If you look, have a little look every time we play, chat, and yourself, DG, right? When our defense have got the ball, count how many times Declan Rice receives it off of them, rather than Zubimendi.
I can't lie, Burnley. I make you right, because Burnley, it kind of shocked me watching the game again, how much he was dropping deep. But to be fair, them two were very next to each other.
We watched the game. We watched the game. Yeah, you got to watch the game. Count how many times Declan Rice receives the ball from our back line, and Zubimendi sometimes is in more space, and he's more of an outlet
on that little right pocket,
because they trust him. They trust Declan Rice with the ball. Yeah,
facts.
Right, you trust. Like Adams and the great Tony Adams and Steve Bold with the David Seaman. When Seaman came for that ball,
you knew he was grabbing that.
Everyone left it. Same as our defence. Out of Zubimendi and Rice to receive the ball, they're going to give it to Rice every single time. And that's what they do, right?
Well, that's the annoying thing. In this 8, you want Rice further forward.
I haven't got a problem with Rice there. My biggest problem is I still think we lack that flair, that kind of creativity in midfield.
That Santi Gazzola kind of 8.
Someone's going to get the ball and run at the defenders. Bit like what Foden did for England when he released that ball. You know what I'm trying to say? That kind of flair.
Draw players into him as well.
Yeah. That was like Paul Merson, Rocky, where they were getting the ball in midfield, driving at the defenders, committing centre halves and all of that. Do you know what I mean?
Facts.
I don't think we've got that. I still don't think we've got that. So I'd like to see that. If we can get a Semenyo, if we can get Semenyo, I'd entertain it as a left winger if we can get him. I'm not one of these to say that you can always improve. I think we've got to get players out the door before we get players in. Especially Yeah. Especially when you're talking about rebuild, when you're improving stadiums, it's going to cost billions of pounds.
But who leaves though? Because
do you know?
Obviously, Gabriel Jesus could be available. I don't think he's going anywhere in January. Martinelli and Trossard, their form.
Well, I think he's got a future at the club. Jesus, apparently, he's coming back. He's got a role to play, and he's got a role to play. One thing with Jesus, right, and I've taken some stick over it. Listen. I was expecting more things from Jesus, and again, I saw moments from him, and I'm hoping it ain't going to be the same for EZE. I'm seeing very similar with EZE. I'm seeing moments, but I'm not actually seeing the jig. I'm not seeing like everything put together and him doing mad things. I'm just seeing little pockets like I did with Jesus. But one thing with Jesus, he's a clever player. He can make things happen if he's called upon. He can take on a player.
You need him for this year. 100%.
Yeah, he can take on a player. I mean, again, could he be used on the left-hand side if he comes in?
I've been saying this to you and Kenny Ken.
Not to start.
Jesus.
Not to start. Perhaps bring him on. Bring a Trossard off if he's tired. Put Jesus on the left. Might be what Gyökeres needs.
It would. If we have Havertz or Jesus fit, and fair enough, Marino was fit, and there was it could dispel this. But I genuinely think, and Arteta has to hold that. But if Havertz was fit or Gabriel Jesus, I don't think this is just my uninformed opinion. I don't think Gyökeres is injured purely because we've all heard this, a muscular injury. So it's wear and tear. You've played a lot of games. You have Jesus, you can rotate in and out. I've always had this mentality. Like I could go through the squad. There are players I would say are unsellable unless you get offered 200 million or something mad. There's players I wouldn't force out the door unless it's a decent offer. There's players that I actually are quite fond of, like Kai Havertz and Marino. But naturally, if I want my team to go where it needs to go, and as much as I hear the tactics and all that stuff, we could upgrade on. Regardless of all of that, I think everybody is a tool in this toolbox for this season. I don't care how this season plays out. You're all able to be utilized. We've got it all to get over the line in one of these 4 trophies. Ideally, the Prem or the champs for me. The champs would be the number one in it. It's not. It might not happen. So I don't know, man. On one hand, I don't want to over exaggerate. We took a stumble.
No. I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from. But if how I look at it, if the players here are at this football club and they've got a role to play, big up the Gooner, man.
Come on, big up the Gooner channel, man. Seriously.
Then they've got to play it. We can't we can't be picky. We can't be turning around and going, oh, yeah, Jesus, no, he's rubbish. He's never going to play for this club again. If they've decided that he's got a role to play, then make sure that when he comes on, he's in that role and he's going to make things happen.
Exactly. Utilize him.
Havertz. If Havertz is your man and you want Havertz and he suits your system, then make the system work. Whatever it takes, you've got to do. There's none of this. This is what I'm saying. There's no more excuses now. We're not at that level where we're making excuses. I mean, I'm hearing it already after the Sunderland game. Oh, yeah, but look at the injuries. Well, we've had injuries.
These are all factors, but we've had injuries from day dot, and we've managed to make it happen.
But DG, we had the injuries before that Sunderland game.
This is what I'm saying. We've had injuries from the day dot. There was no one mentioning
injuries then, was there? That's what I'm trying to say.
We've had injuries since the start of the season. We've made it happen. Like,
you got Norgard on the bench. Squad depth, remember? You got Norgard on the bench. You could have packed the midfield out, as we've said before. You got Wanyeri on the bench. Players were tired. And he brings on one substitution. That has to be questioned. I'm sorry.
And for me personally as well,
has to be questioned.
You're right. And for me, okay, I hear that. Injuries are a factor, especially as you're playing more games. It's not that I think it's nonsense, but if I isolate the Sunderland game, I think there's plenty more talking points as to why we got ourselves back in the game and didn't get the 3 points before I say, oh my God, X, Y, Z. Of course, we've got a lot of games. There was an element, I feel, of fatigue. Of course, there's an element where there's injuries. I think Marino wasn't bad, but with Marino, I think with centre halves are going to gamble in it. You know you can beat Marino in a foot race, so you're going to go higher up into our half, innit? You're going to do that. If you got Gyökeres, you think, fucking hell, we're getting a foot race. It's long for him. Or Martinelli. Even when we're seeing out the game, Martinelli would have provided an outlet, and whoever people get where I'm going with. But before I do all of that, do I think we had enough with the manager, with the bench, with the players to prevent those 2 goals, to maybe even score a couple, because we had a chance to nick it at the end? These are my factors. I can only deal with what was in front of me. So I think it's a cop-out. We can't do the injuries thing, because for not just this season, but seasons, you got to look at some of Arsenal's best results over the last 3 years, 4 if you want to include now, they haven't necessarily been achieved with our best squad. Man City 5-1, that weren't with what people would have had with Arsenal's strongest 11 on paper. So I do think it's the cop-out. And injuries happen with everybody. It makes a part.
I don't want to be overanalyzing with injuries and stuff like that. But sometimes you have to do what you have to do with what's presented in front of you. And if that's the only option you've got, you've got to make it work. You've got to make it work. As I said, no disrespect to Sunderland. Brilliant. I thought Sunderland have been doing all sorts of madness. It's fantastic.
They played like a team in a rich run of form. I'll be real.
We're the team chasing the Premiership. We're the team we're the team that's everyone's favourites. We're the team that's got the best squad. We're the team that's got the best squad depth. We should be closing that game out. We should be doing enough to get over the line and win that game. I know it's not a bad result, but we should be doing enough to win that game. And once we won the battle and we were 2-1 up, then you've got to make the right adjustments to make sure that you get over the line.
And there's been several times we have got over the line this season, when maybe not so much like Sunderland, but it's been one of those. It's going to present itself again. About Palace, for example. It's
going to present itself again because, as I said, we've just looked at the fixtures there. The fixtures are coming thick and fast. You've got an informed Aston Villa home and away December. You've got a North London derby. You've got Bayern Munich sandwiched in between that. You've got Chelsea away. Chelsea can either be...
We need to be... I demand
Chelsea can either be Barnet FC or they could be prime Barcelona. You just don't know what you're getting with Chelsea. But Chelsea at Stamford Bridge, it's a tough one. So
it's some big games. Even this Villa away in Club Brugge. I know people will look at Club Brugge and say, "Oh my God, you know what?"
But they drew 3-0 with Barcelona.
Exactly, and the travelling aspect as well.
But it's not them games. It's not them games I worry about, DG. This manager on occasions has proved himself against the likes of Cities and the Liverpools and all of that. The game I'm worried about as well is Everton away. It's going to be very similar to Sunderland.
Sorry to cut you, DJB. People that were here in my live stream yesterday, what's this? And this is why I love doing content with DJB. What's the first game I said? I said that exact thing word for word. I was like, Bayern Munich, Chelsea, Brentford, Villa. It's not. We can talk about that. Is what it is. It's that game.
Yeah, so this is what I'm saying. We think alike. We think alike, DG, because that is the one fixture. That's the one fixture. That is the one fixture that worries me because it's going to be very similar to Sunderland. But Everton
And
are going
Moyes
to have
has
a
our
lot more
number. Let's have it right
experience,
as well, man.
right? New stadium, man like Jack Grealish doing all sorts. You know, it's going to be tough. Now, what does he do there? If players are tired and we're in front now, is he going to make one substitution, or is he going to think back to the Sunderland game and go, hang on a minute, I think I've got to do the legs. His rotation, his squad, and he's the way he rotates the squad in all of these games is going to be key.
And look at the dates we're playing. 3 days after the North London derby,
He's
Bayern.
key.
Then what? 4 days you got Chelsea. Then literally a couple of days, Brentford. Then you got to get on the road to Villa. Then you got to pack up your suitcase and get your passport and Club Brugge. Then we come back and you got Wolves. Don't get it twisted. Wolves of all of them is the one I'm like, yeah, that's where I'll be very vexed.
No disrespect to Wolves. That's probably your banker.
Yeah, with the greatest respect.
Yeah. But this is what I'm saying is, so, you know, there's a lot of games coming up. There's a lot of games coming up. And this City team's only 4 points behind.
And if you one before we kick a ball again.
If you look at City's, I think Man City have got Newcastle away, which is tricky for them. Other than that, their next run of fixtures are all winnable when we've got some tough matches. When we're playing Chelsea and the Villas and all of that, they've got some more favourable games.
You mentioned Newcastle. Cool.
There you go. They've got Leverkusen tough. Then they've got Leeds.
On paper, they should be beating Leeds, but Leeds are them kind of teams.
They've got Sunderland at home. They've got Sunderland at home. And Sunderland's away form is not well. They beat Chelsea 2-1, give them that. But what I'm saying is, this is the game where I think they drop points just because Palace have earned that right in it. I think they deal with Leeds. Is that
on paper, Newcastle?
They play the Carabao Cup. So listen, it's going to be interesting, but we've got to start turning. What we don't want to do now is kind of get carried away. We've got to keep.
That's why I say don't look at the league table. It doesn't help you.
Look at the league table. Look at it in January. And if we're 7 points clear in January, then we can start thinking, well, hang on.
For me, it's March. When I start hearing 3-4 plus points, even more points in March, April, May, then I'm like, all right, cool. It don't mean nothing right now to me. No. And it's not to say I'm not happy with it. I want that. Who wouldn't want that? But things can change very quickly. I always say this, if you were to talk about Liverpool individually of what you've made of them this season, City, Arsenal, and everybody, and then go look at the league table, it might give you food for thought.
Yeah. But we said earlier in the stream, DG, all the aspects have got to be right, haven't they? Because we've questioned our final third, we've questioned our attacking. It's not quite been there yet, has it? Do you know what I mean? And we both agreed with that.
And we're just hoping it clicks. We're not saying
it's dead. We want to see a little bit more in attack, you know? Not just for entertainment value, but just as an option. Because at the moment,
I think it's more on the players in attack than Arteta. You know,
we're seeing moments. We're just seeing moments, and but this is what I'm saying: players ain't got the time. There's no credit in the bank to give these players time. Zubimendi ain't got time. EZE
don't have time because it's over the line. We're at that point now. It's trophies now.
There's no time. You're at Arsenal Football Club, one of the biggest clubs in Europe, and there's no time. This manager is under a lot of pressure. The fan base are desperate for silverware.
Restless.
Yeah, absolutely desperate for silverware. And I think personally, DG, I know you've got to move on, but I think personally, one of the most important games in all of them fixtures is that quarterfinal in Crystal Palace Carabao Cup.
I had you on the platform. What did we say going into the Newcastle game? I want to take the League Cup seriously.
Absolutely massive. And I've said it before. You win that Carabao Cup, that relieves some of the pressure. It's the feel-good factor back in the team. The team then gets together. The team knows they can get over the line. The manager, it's a kind of
nice day out
little bit of stress taken off away from the manager. They can then win as a team. And then they've got the rest of the season now to chase the title and go, do you know what? We can do this. We've just
try to bring home trophies.
Yeah. You know, they can meet up with the England squad and a little bit of bragging rights. Look, you know what? We've won and all of this. It is absolutely massive that he respects that Carabao Cup and puts an half-decent team out in the quarterfinal. Because I tell you one thing, Palace will be going for it.
Palace are on it.
They're going to be playing Mateta. They're going to be Adam Wharton. You're not going to see the same Palace that came to the Emirates in the league. You're going to
I
see a
hope we
different
do, but I
Crystal
make
Palace.
you right.
So we've got to be on it. And Palace ain't going to be Brighton in that quarter-final. We've got to be on it. Because can you imagine if we go out in that Carabao Cup quarter-final after the
Sour
players
taste in the
finishing
mouth,
runners
man.
up, 3 seasons running, getting knocked out of semi-finals, suddenly now they're out of another cup competition. You know what it's like in football, DG. Suddenly the mind starts going. It can really knock your confidence.
For the fans more, because that
is so
indirectly plays a
important.
part in the atmosphere as well, man.
Yeah, that is so important. The manager will then get questioned again, you know. And it again, you know, that is really, really important. Really important. But another thing that I've been thinking about as well is the Spurs and the Chelsea game with the Bayern Munich game sandwiched in the middle. Now,
He's going to rotate Bayern, in my opinion.
what does he do with a Bayern Munich game? Because we've got 12 points in the bank. We should really get a result against Bruges. We should beat Carriot, no disrespects, and we should try and get something in Inter. So one of the suggestions I said, and Aaron said on my channel the other day, is
Big up, Aaron.
would you rest some players? Not massive changes.
That's what I was going to say. How far does the resting go? Like, how
Do you know
far?
what I mean? But Kenny says, it is
Rice is
Bayern.
playing in all of them.
It is Bayern, and you want to win that game, obviously.
Rice and Saka, you're there for all of them.
What would you rather do? 3 points against Bayern or 6 points against Spurs and Chelsea?
You can't put the question like that, man. You know I'm going to pick the 6 points.
Exactly.
I'll pick the 6 points. I'll pick the 6 points.
Only because, and I'll tell you why. Only because we've got 12 points already in the Champions League. And I think another 3,
Madness.
probably another 4 probably will be enough.
But that's the thing. When you say rotate, I'm with you.
Fall to draw against Bayern Munich quite comfortably.
I'll take a point right now. Obviously, I want to beat them. They used to like slap our asses. Let's have it right and mash us up at the Emirates. And we want to show that it's not there and it's a big game. It's a statement, momentum, all of that kind of jazz. But for the Bayern game, and again, the wickedest thing is we don't know the dynamics. Anyone can get injured at any point. Anyone can return at any point. All those kind of things. But the Bayern game, when people say rotation, if they're talking rotation like Calafiori for Miles Lewis-Skelly, Odegaard or EZE, that's what I mean. I'm on that kind of rotation.
That's what I'm talking about. That kind of
that's happening.
Yeah.
That has to happen.
Yeah,
I
think so. I think so because, as I said, Rice is playing a lot of games and doing a lot of running. If you look at his mapping, he's working tirelessly. Yeah, Saka tires up very, very quickly. You know, Gorka, as we know about, tired, muscle injuries, chasing.
See why we need these players back fit. This is why I need the Jesus.
If you're going into
all of these guys.
Yeah, if you're going into a big fixture list, you need players. You need them all fit. So it's not a problem. I wouldn't say it's a problem, but
it's just one you're looking over and just thinking
it's
about.
Something that has to be looked at. Players' welfare and how you rest and rotate is going to be really key if we're going to.
You know, I've learned this season, D. You can never have too many players because even with all of this, we've seen a new start. That as much as I love Dalman and he was always going to start in the League Cup, you could caveat and argue, had we have had Madueke, Jesus, Havertz, all them guys available, he probably doesn't. You can never have too many players, which leads me to ask you a couple of questions before I let you go and enjoy your Friday. Yeah, DG and DJB, would you take Belemba at Arsenal? On ability, I would. Where do you stand with that?
Oh, 100% on ability. Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about 8s and 6s, so I'm with that.
Yeah. Anyone that's going to create something different. Anyone that's going to create something different and give us that different way of attacking.
That's your Zubimendi alternative. That's your Partey replacement. I feel if you get Belemba.
Because what I don't want us to do, I don't want us to get predictable. DG. I don't want us to get kind of predictable. This is why what we said, and we both agreed on it. This is why we've got to start doing something different.
Keep people guessing. Keep ourselves guessing more than anything.
Yeah, in our attacking third. So far this season, is it going well, isn't it? Yeah, it's going brilliant. I mean,
%.
The bottom line is, if
we're
anyone
crying about a draw, it's going all right.
If anyone had said to me, we're 4 points clear going into the middle of November after the international break, going into the
you'd have bit your arm off for that.
100%. I'm over the moon. However, constructive criticism and seeing where we can improve and what went wrong is good. This is why we have a debate, because things did go wrong against Sunderland.
And I don't think there's anything
You've got
wrong
to
with
ask
that.
your questions. We're not.
If we won 7-0 and there's no shots on target, me and
Yeah.
D would be sat here, raw, we're mad, we're doing whatever. God forbid. But if we conceded 7, we'll be bitching about a lot. So when it's a mixed bag, we have to talk about the mixed bag. I don't know what's wrong. I'm not saying anyone's accusing us of not doing that or got a problem with it. I don't get it.
I really find it frustrating when all people, when they tune in, and I'm not sort of picking people out individually, but when people tune into streams and channels, I think they want to just listen to everything positive. Oh yeah, it was a draw, but didn't we do this well? And
That's
didn't we do
lazy,
that
man.
well?
Because I guarantee you, Arteta and the players are not doing that. Because they would be
if you're
in
going
big
to,
trouble.
you've got to look at the bigger thing. We both agreed that one substitution wasn't enough against Sunderland.
It wasn't enough. Now, granted, if I knew Arteta and he sat there and said, "Okay, I hear what DJB and yourself, DG, are saying, but this is what I saw being the manager, or whatever," I might say, "Do you know what? Fair play."
Okay, fair
play. As a
play.
novice, bro, you got a big bench. I've got and then me and DJB got no problem with Mascara on, you know.
And then you link that with what he done against Sunderland, and then you start thinking, oh, he's made them mistakes before. He's left players on that are tired.
It makes me think about the first half at City.
Makes you think first half against City. Then you start thinking of the problem that then there's question marks of what he's done in the past that's similar. And this
even the Guna channel saying it there, because for what it's worth, I think he's right. If anyone's just listening to us, he said, yeah, the subs were frustrating. I think he took for granted we wouldn't concede another. I think that as well. I think he was like, all right, we had a little stupid goal, but
there is a lot
we're going to do our thing. Never happened.
There is a lot in that. And one thing, if you're going to have a positive come out of that Sunderland game, right?
Didn't lose.
It did bring people down to earth a little bit. It did sort of go, hang on a minute. And even some of the players, because you know what it's like. Players are not conceding goals. We're winning games. 3 points. Suddenly 2 goals hit the onion bag. You're coming out of there with a point. And you're thinking, hang on a minute, this ain't going to be as easy as we thought it would be. And that's a good thing.
No, but the people that are doing what you just alluded to, they're probably more negative than us. They're doing the most. Like, they're probably doing way more than we're doing. The same ones that were mad, we're winning everything, we're going to do 20 points. They're probably way more critical of that Sunderland draw than us. I think we've given the club credit for obviously getting a point, getting back in the game. That was the worst we've seen in a minute. You still left with something, giving Sunderland their credit. But also, all right, Arteta, you could have done this. Rice, Gabriel, Raya, the 2 goals you could have done whatever. I'd said it earlier. Trossard, I think he was the best attacking player. So I'm asking, what's going on with the rest? And no matter what, I sometimes think you can strip football back to what it is. It's decided in both ends. We didn't defend well enough because we don't know what conceding 2 goals.
No, we was all over the place. If you actually look at those,
and we didn't finish.
We were all over the place.
We didn't finish.
I mean, there was one point. I think there was one point. Zubimendi was marking the big midfield centre half, forward, whatever you like, in the box.
I'm sure against Newcastle, he marked Dan Burn at one point. I was thinking, wow.
You get Zubimendi out of there, and you get Saliba marking the big giant. You don't put. So there's loads of little things. But listen, we're not going to go through this season flawless. It's not.
But that goes back to what you said, because I think some people thought it was that thing. We're never going to concede. We're just going to mash up teams.
We're going to lose games. We are going to lose games. We're going to draw games. We're going to concede goals. The biggest problem, the biggest question is, how do you bounce back? How do you react? Right?
And it has to be
against Sunderland. We've drawn against Sunderland. How do we now react against Spurs in the North London derby?
Exactly.
Right? If mistakes have been learned and we bounce back against Tottenham, we go and win that game. We go into Bayern, we win that game. Confidence is back against Chelsea. It might not work out against Chelsea. We might come away from Stamford Bridge with a draw.
It needs to, man. The last few performances at Stamford Bridge ain't been good enough.
We might even lose. But again, how do we go into the next game? What you've got to do is stop all this madness of certain fans saying that this is the best team ever. best team in Europe, best this, best that.
Yeah,
We ain't going to
you're not
lose.
going to stop
Teams
any
are
of
not
that.
going to score against us. It's going to happen. It's going
You're
to
not
happen.
going to stop any of that. You know
It's
how
going to
our fans
happen.
are, man.
It's going to
madness.
happen. Be realistic. It's how we bounce back. But the bottom line is,
Facts.
we've got to manage this squad. We can't keep. I know he's trust the spine, and my biggest worry with Arteta at the moment is he's trusting the spine too much. And if fatigue sets in, we're then going to get injured players again. You're going to get hamstrings, and people and players are going to go down. Right? He trusts his main spine, and I get that. But if you look at City, they're bringing Haaland off whenever they can. They're bringing Doku off whenever they can. He's making right substitutions. He's going 2-0 up. Bang, they're coming off. He's taking Haaland off when he's on an hat-trick, sulking. Don't care, you're coming off. I want you for the next game. We're leaving Gyökeres on for 90-odd minutes, running, closing down. Muscle fatigue. Never had muscle fatigue at Sporting.
That's one thing. We've seen a lot of players never have knocks, and they come here and they get knocks. But this is why I need the whole squad. This is why, I'm not here to say Havertz is the best thing since sliced bread, but you need Havertz. You get Havertz. You've got the luxury of Havertz.
We need Havertz. We need Havertz, but everyone was screaming that we need a number 9. Now we've got a number 9. Everyone's now turning around and saying, "Oh, but Havertz has got a role to play." Yeah, he has got a role.
For me, Gyökeres is the big dog. You're playing week in, week out. When it's time to box smartly, that's your thing, Havertz.
Yeah, but he's got to find a way. This is what we said earlier on in the stream. EZE, we're not seeing it. We're seeing moments of EZE, but we're not seeing the EZE at Palace. So the manager has got to find a way to get that out of EZE. He has to then change things up. You know, you can't have players going stale and losing form, game in, game out, game in, game out. Man. You got to mix it up. You got to make it happen. You can't keep hoping. Oh, I hope EZE comes good. I hope Gyökeres comes good. I hope we ain't got hope now. We haven't won anything. And this manager certainly hasn't got hope, because if he wins nothing at the end of the season,
God forbid,
he could be shown the door.
God forbid. What do you make of this? What's more? I think Lion is trying to say, what's more needed for Arsenal right now, a left wing or a midfielder? Based on that, I would say left wing, because
I'd say left winger, because we don't know how much longer. Yeah,
we ain't got no one that we can bet our hat on immediately.
Yeah, at the end of the day, Trossard and Martinelli, when they come in, has done a job, but Trossard's done a job at the moment. I don't know how long it will last for. Hopefully it will get better and better and better. But if I was to hang my coat up, I'd say a left winger, to be honest.
Exactly. And Charles, big up yourself. Yeah, I disagree. This ain't a question, but I just wanted to address this. Is not tiring is more like conserving. Full stamina is like gold in your locker. I hear that, but I hate when Arsenal fans talk about that. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. I don't think any player has gone into any game at any point in the season and thought, let me not go full strength because we've got 10 games in this calendar.
Yeah, no. All players want to play.
It don't make sense. Yeah, it sounds good, but it doesn't make sense. No. You can't do that in the Premier League. You can't do that in any game.
No, you got to play your first 11. What I'm saying is, look, the prime example this season, and I've said it before and I've said it time and time again, you start your first 11, you pick your best team, fine. But when you're 2-0 up against Prague and you're in no danger whatsoever, you don't leave Rice, which is your main weapon this season, on for 82 minutes, knowing you got Sunderland Saturday. That's going to be a physical game. At 50-odd minutes, Rice should have been hooked off. And this is why I question whether he trusts his depth. The fans do. I'm not sure he does.
I won't lie, this stream, you've given me some food for thought, because I trust our depth, but the way you've kind of put it, when you actually kind of break it down, I understand players, managers got their favorites, and sometimes you need to win.
That's what we do on our channels, DG. We spit out the.
I understand how difficult it is to hook Rice, but
we don't go steaming in on the manager. We do give facts behind. Well, I do.
It's true, because managers have biases and things like that. Like I've coached in Sunday League. I understand not taking certain men off when you know they need to, but in your heart you take him off. It's a bit more open, but then it goes back to what you're alluding to. Is that how good is the depth improved if you don't trust everyone?
I'll tell you what it is, right, DJ. This is a
good
prime
question.
example. Do you remember when you used to play for the school?
Mm,
And you always had your best 11, didn't you? That your manager picked your school team.
100%. Even class
DG
early.
first on the list, blah, blah, blah. But DG's feeling a bit tired. But there's this young kid on the bench. He's
Joe
not
Bloggs.
quite got it. So do you leave DG on? Or do you bring the man off the bench to take his place?
If you really rate him, you start, Donny.
Well, Arteta, this is how I feel Arteta is at the moment. It's like, I know Rice has got to come off, but do I actually trust someone to come on and do the job? And he has to do that. As I said, we trust the depth. I'm not quite sure the manager does because...
Especially in the key areas.
Yeah. Because like
mainly in the key areas, actually. It's all fun and games off for Madueke, but central midfield.
Yeah, there's certain games when he could have got more game time or started. There's certain games Norgard could have been introduced a bit earlier, and he hasn't. And I'm just a little bit question marks. But one thing he will trust is when Havertz and Odegaard are back fit. He'll definitely trust them because they're.
Do you know what the maddest thing is as well, D? I can't lie. Just as at the point of seeing out the game, I did say in my live stream, I wish Havertz was there because Havertz, Martinelli. If I was the manager, you lot could help me see out that game. Like, it's not going to be pretty. Havertz just foul people. Martinelli just defend or be an outlet. Kind of what you said earlier about, like, being an outlet, win some fouls, sting out the game, we keep it moving. But if you ain't got them available, you have to utilize them. As much as, I'm not going to lie, I'll always advocate for Dauman to play and Wanyeri to play. Less in that against Sunderland, less so much Dauman, more so Wanyeri. As much as because I did understand.
He's further down in his development, Wanyeri, isn't he? Let's be honest.
He is. But I did think Dauman's 15 is one of those games. But then, and I thought, oh, you know what? Sunderland's not really one of them games. But then if I question mark my own logic, because I like to do that before I question mark Arteta, as lazy as it is, if you're on the bench, it doesn't matter if you're 15. It doesn't matter if you're 30. Like, you're good enough to be utilized at some point. You're on the bench,
this is what I'm saying.
That's why I'm like,
if you're on that coach and you've made the squad and you've done all the preparation in training, you've made the squad, you've done the preparation in training, you're sitting there. For me, if you're good enough to sit there in the cozy chairs, looking at the game and making that squad, and you've done all the training in the house, mate, you're good enough to come on. Because one thing one of them would have done, they'd have got us up the pitch.
They'd have got us up the pitch. They'd have won some fouls.
Dauman is brilliant at drawing a free kick, like Grealish does. Yeah, you get Grealish the ball. He does a little bit of this, and he draws a free kick.
Let him chop your legs off, man.
You know how long it takes.
Act like you've been shot. Tie the game out, like just tie the game up. Ties the game up. Time's running down. Sunderland then start to press the panic button. We get over the line. We walk away there with 2-1. Yeah, well, like, we need to do this better. Sunderland great, but we've got 3 of them.
These are the questions that worry me with this manager in big games when he's under pressure, whether you like it or not, because he's proven it in the past, right? PSG semi-final and all of this. He's
Newcastle for me is the one that will stick out.
Not quite worked it out. So when I'm seeing it against Sunderland, I'm thinking, has he learned his lesson? That's all I'm saying. So
I hear that because
I'm hoping he has. I'm hoping he has. I'm absolutely gassed. We're 4 points clear going into the North London derby.
Just wish it was the end of the season.
The pressure's on that game now after the game against Sunderland. Massive.
I think we're going to win it, man. I've already given my prediction. I think I gave it earlier today. I've gone 3-1 Arsenal. I know it's mad. Like over a week before, I'm going Saka, Wanyeri. Saka, Eze, because he was linked with them. Saka, Eze, and whoever wants to score the third. I just think the goals come in twos in terms of the game. Well, against Sunderland it did, but like we'll concede in 2 games.
It's going to be tough though, DG. Listen,
it's going to be tough, but like if we're real, like, and I know form goes out the window, and it's a top game, and you know Thomas Frank, whatever.
We should beat Spurs. Chelsea,
that's what I'm saying. Look at the
Chelsea.
run,
I'm like that. Chelsea, I'm like that.
Yeah, Chelsea I don't know, but Spurs, you should be brushing them. I should be more shook of Brentford than Spurs, and I am because I just think Spurs are in that kind of vein.
Everton away is another tricky one, and Villa away
is a bigger game than
Villa and Everton away are tricky. Massive.
This is why we like football.
If we can come out of there with 3 points, if we can go to Villa and get 3 points, Everton 3 points, Chelsea we get a draw or better still a win, beat Spurs at home. Then we can march on to January in a much positive mood. If we beat Palace in the Carabao. if we beat Palace in the Carabao Cup, that is.
And
if we go out of that cup, that could do serious damage to confidence. That really could.
I hope it doesn't, because there's 4 opportunities of a trophy. I said this to you last time. I'll say it again. Me and you are the same in that we'd love to Arsenal to win the champs. We think the Prem is bread and butter.
Yeah, the champs is the one.
We'd love it in it because they can't do Champions of Europe and everything. But that just stop. Do you know what? Yeah, when I was more frequently going to games, that is the one chance, especially when Arsenal lose, it used to fuck me off because you can't do anything about it. And you got respectfully to Nottingham Forest. You got Nottingham Forest, bro. I weren't alive when you lot won that.
Man, that was mad.
Chatting shit. Like we win that, we shut them up.
Brian Clough, he was in my top 3 managers list the other day when we was doing the off topic,
So big him up. He'd probably be in mine, but it's more because I've done history lessons. But big him up. But I love the champs. I think the Prem is really tangible. If you can pick up the FA Cups, are like our trophy, it should be renamed after us. We should be winning that. League Cup, the last time we won it was the year before I was born, so we can win. We should be winning that. I can't sit here and tell DJB, myself, or you lot in the chat which trophy we win. But I'd be a liar, and I don't want to lie to you lot, if I didn't genuinely believe with all of my heart of 4 opportunities that in May 2026 there shouldn't be our name etched on some silverware.
I just think that
man said a quad.
The squad we've got, the players we've got, most of our players would walk into most teams across Europe, I would have thought. Right?
All of our defenders.
Right? The players we've got, how long this manager's been at the football club and in a job, we should be winning silverware this season. If we don't win silverware, this might go down as one of the most disastrous seasons I can think of in Arsenal.
I don't know where honestly,
the expectations, the money spent on it, what people have been saying, what pundits have been saying, what you hear on the radio, what you hear from certain fan base. If we don't win anything, and I've said this before, and this man is still in the job next season at Arsenal Football Club.
I think he's here regardless.
All because he's won records that haven't won us trophies.
And that's the border we need to cross now. It's about winning.
I mean, there's things at the moment. I mean, they put the records up and they put him above Wenger and all of that. And rightly so. Yeah, his win rate and all of that. But the bottom line
you're not above Wenger.
The bottom line is, has he won silver? Has he won trophies? No. Has he won the Prem? No.
And that's where we're at now.
I mean, there are some fans saying that if he wins the Carabao Cup and the FA Cup, it ain't enough. Question marks
exactly
still got to be answered.
Exactly. You know what? I think worst comes to worst, you need to win silverware, because even if I wanted the gaffer sacked, if you win a League Cup, we can say, all right, cool. At least you've crossed one border. We go again next season. For me, ideally, it's one of the majors. For me, though, generally, if we don't win any sort of silverware this year, I think we're cursed. Like I genuinely think we're cursed.
You look at it from a logical point of view, DG, right? If the manager was, surely there comes a point where if you've had everything given to you, you've had top sporting director, you've now got one of the top scouts at the club, you've had all this money spent, you've had all the players you want, and you don't win it.
Deals as well every week.
Surely you must go home and look at yourself in the mirror and go, do you know what? I've done everything I can. I've had everything I've wanted.
I might be the man before the man
failed. I can't do it.
Yeah, but I don't think the club sack him.
When does it come a point when you just think I've got to walk away from this?
No, but I don't think that. I think until Arteta, and obviously if you know things can change, he might one day wake up, God forbid, because I want us to win stuff and think that. But I think he will always have that burning desire that I've taken Arsenal this far, I'm trying to go somewhere else. And I do think
like that. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and a part of me, if I'm keeping it 100% honest,
£15 million does help a season.
Bro, you get it. 15 million.
And a part of me does away from. Let's be honest.
Exactly. And a part of me would think, if I'm keeping it 100% honest, he's like, right, you know what, I could get sacked.
You know, the guys want more money than Ancelotti and all of that.
This is what I'm saying. And I think, like Wenger,
have a look at these managers' records that he's above in.
You see what I'm saying? And a part of me does think he will sit there and be like, raw, like what Wenger, like, as much as I love Wenger, like, raw, I could have got sacked at other clubs for this, but this one's cool. I genuinely don't think the Cronkies are clipping him if he gets sacked, because I don't think they will. I don't think they will. As long as there's some context to, like, if you finish second, 2 points and semis, I think you're cool.
I think the Cronkies now have taken the duvet from over their heads now and looked at the
D, because
situation.
you know
Because
what it is for
let
me,
me
yeah?
give you the reason why, right? When the
Go on.
Cronkies first took him on,
He was a novice.
He was a novice, so they gave him the time. His job was to get us competing, to get us in
And
the
he's done
Champions
that, to
League
be
on a
fair to
regular
him.
basis and to make us up there again. And he's done that, right? And they've given him the money and they've spent more money. He's had over £1 billion spent. And I know people say, oh, I'll keep going on about the money. But the facts are, no other manager has had that. He's had more, our net spend is bigger than Liverpool's, Man City's, everything, right? He's had a lot of money spent on it. There comes a point when you're an owner and you've splashed all this money. So he's ticked the box of phase 1, Champions League. Phase 2, get us competing,
All
run
them
us up.
statistics, all that
That's
jazz.
been ticked.
And
If
we know you're a good
winning
manager. It's just, are
If
you a
you're
winning
not winning
guy?
anything now, I think they'll pull the plug.
No, but that's where
it'll be brutal,
but
I
for
think
me,
they
it's
will.
a thing where like it's
they
like
will.
me. Let's just say I live in Tottenham, which I don't live too far away. I live in Tottenham. I fucking hate living in Tottenham. I don't want to move house and whatnot. I've woken up today and said, yo, I've had enough. I've lived here for X amount of years. I want to move. As you know, with moving a house, it's all fun and games saying, yeah, man, want to move. I don't want to be here no more. But I need somewhere else to go. I need to talk to estate agents.
Come on, man. Listen. When you've got a fan base putting this man as one of the top 3 managers in the world, above managers that have won endless trophies, he'll have a job to go to, no problem.
That's one thing. Arteta gets sacked today. I think you're a good manager. I don't think you will be out of a job long. You will do your thing. My thing with Arteta has always been, whether I like it or not, whether I've been happy with anything, if you left today after joining 2019, we're in a better place. But I'm not even trying to take the convo here. What I'm saying, I say that to say this. You might be the man before the man. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You might be the man before the man. You're a good manager. We're a good team. Are we a great team? Are you a great manager? You're not until you're etched in Arsenal folklore. Forget what all the rivals and the talk sport dons and pundits and Sky Sports think. That is it for me, because it would be an utter shame for me. Forget Arteta for a sec, the players, if you lot don't go down in folklore. When I say the name Rob Holding, someone might say he's shit, but they think FA Cup. Gabriel and Saliba don't deserve to be held in higher regard. You see what I'm saying? It's silverware settings now, and you've got 4 opportunities.
Of course it is.
I don't care how you do it, just do it.
That's what it's all about. You honestly think these players do all this training and go out on the grass and run around?
Nice and to always be so close.
You honestly think that they just go along because they enjoy it? They want trophies. They want medals.
And some Arsenal fans are screaming quadruple.
I
don't think we can do that, but I love it.
Why do you think Harry Kane made the tough decision to get out of Spurs? Because
I need to look back in my career when I'm telling my grandkids I fucking won some shit.
Absolutely. Bro. And this is another thing what you've got to realise as well. If we don't win anything this season, even though players have signed contracts, they're going to be looking over their shoulder.
And I'm not on that starting again thing, man. Like, forget all of that.
Then
if we have to start again, I'll support
expect
the club,
these players to
no
keep
ambition.
going.
I'm not showing ambition anymore.
No, but what I'm saying is, DG, you can't expect these players to keep going through processes and phases. You can't expect Saka to be at this club if he's not won anything this season.
Man, in their mid-20s,
go through another process and another phase when Bayern Munich or Inter Milan or PSG are coming calling.
Exactly.
You can't expect Saliba, even though he signed a contract, to go through more phases and more progress. Declan Rice, more phases, more progress. So you've got to then start looking at the bigger picture. So that's why this manager is under so much pressure, because it's the future of Arsenal Football Club if he doesn't win anything.
And it gasses other players to want to join us as well.
And what people don't realise is this manager will go into another job. He won't give 2 hoots about Arsenal Football Club.
Oh, no. One thing I've always made sure is Arteta will get another job.
He'll move on. As much as certain fans have got posters of him all over their bedroom ceilings and walls, right? He will move on, right? He will move on. And he won't give 2 monkeys about Arsenal Football Club.
As you should.
Meanwhile, DG, we're left with no Rice, no
We're left playing with our thumbs.
They're all gone.
We're left playing with our thumbs and twiddling our hands and saying, where do we go from here? And you've been in football longer than me. We know we'll go, but madness.
It's short-term fix, long-term damage.
Exactly. And in regards to the Cronkies, to end it on this year, obviously, I think the Cronkies care about money. I'll be honest, I think they care about trophies. For me, I accept the Cronkies for what they are. You're never going to be the Saudi owners or whatever. But do I think I can't look DJB or you lot in the eyes?
Manager. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, exactly. I can't look DJB or you lot in the eyes if I'm talking about Cronkies. They're not the reason we didn't win. God forbid, but we won't win anything this year, last year, or the year before. Maybe January, give or take, but there's been bread, bro. Like, they backed him. They took a novice manager and backed him. They backed him against big players. They ripped up deals. Let's be honest, there was the bit of the Edu versus Arteta. We all know it was always going to be an Arteta thing, rightly or wrongly. There's so many things before I look at the Cronkies. Like, I can't sit here and do the Cronky in-out thing as we used to do a couple of years ago. It's not a that thing. But we'll have to see, man.
We'll have to see,
where can people find you as well, man?
It's been mad. I'm going to do a little stream tonight because I missed out my Wednesday one. So I'm doing a little stream tonight. You can find me on the Arsenal Huddle. Come along, see what you think. It's, we have a little
what
chat.
Time?
We also have, I'm going live about 9:45 tonight. So
90 minutes, people, essentially.
Come and have a little look. We don't only talk about football. We have a little bit of banter. We talk about all sorts. We talk.
I watched you lot on the replay. You, Jez,
and we have a little lot. We especially international break time. We have a little bit of banter and we talk about different things and But the real stuff is on the Sunday sit back. That's always match reaction and stuff.
What time's that?
That's normally 10 o'clock on a Sunday, and Thursday tea time chat. Me and Kenny Ken, and we always have a guest on as well. Again, that's talking about the fixtures coming up and we analyse stuff and everything else. So, yeah, all good, man. The bottom line is I just want to win a trophy, DG. My ways don't even know where Wembley is at the moment, man. I couldn't even tell you how to get there. It's been that long. Come on, man. Just get me a trophy. Get me a trophy. Arteta can do what he likes after that. You go and win me a trophy. Arteta, you can go start up a market store if you want. I don't care.
Spittlefields or something, but like you said there, people, make sure you're subscribing to DJB. I think we're winning the trophy. Hopefully in May 26th, I'm proving right.
Could be. Yeah, listen, if someone was to say to me, do you think we're going to win a trophy? And on my heart, yes, I think
under my heart, I genuinely believe it. I just can't tell you which one.
Yes, I think we will. Have I got question marks? Am I still worried? Of course I am, because he hasn't done it in the past. So they're always going to be until you get over the line. There's always going to be those question marks.
And that's the thing for me, because I think Arteta's got a lot of faults, but for me, it's the thing where I like you. I probably border into more liking you than thinking you need to go. But my thing is, I like my club more. You've shown me a lot of good things.
Yeah, you're not big enough to run
me a trophy.
I don't care who you are. You're not big.
Yeah, exactly. You need to win me a trophy now. When you win me a trophy, you shut up a lot of things. And you win me a trophy, I'm on anything.
And I think that's the problem at the moment with a lot of the fan base.
Exactly. You don't win me a trophy, I am on sacking you, keeping you everything.
A lot of the fan base put Arteta bigger than Arsenal.
Yeah, because they fancy him.
They'd rather see Arteta there, no matter what, at the detriment of Arsenal.
No one's bigger than the club. What's it, Kenny?
I'm Arsenal Football Club, not the manager. No, and that's not that. No matter what, man. Even Wenger. Arsenal first. You know?
What's it Kenny says? And that would be the best way to end it. Kenny says something when you lot are here. Oh, the club is the biggest star. That's it. He's right. The club is the biggest star.
The biggest star. And 100%. 100%. Managers
come
and go, players come and go. It's the football club. And it's what you do while you're at that football club. And until he gets over the line, when he goes to places like Sunderland, when he goes to places and he doesn't get the result or tactically he gets it wrong, there's always going to be them demons coming back saying he done that last time.
You win trophies, you got credit in the bank, innit?
Done it last time. You win trophies, there's credit in the back. If Pep don't win anything this season and retires,
what do you say? Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, I hear that. But look, Pep Guardiola,
Exactly. So,
and I do feel it's lazy, but I do feel
it's been cool, DJ. I've really loved it, man, and loved the chat as well.
It's been great, man. People sit there and say, if Arsenal are so good, why haven't they win trophies? And I'll be real, I hear that. So let's go and shut these people up, man.
Exactly. And if you're gonna put managers and the team on massive pedestals, then they've got to deliver, right?
And I don't think there's anything
You
wrong
say
with
your
that.
car's the fastest and it loses, there's going to be question marks over the mechanics, isn't there?
Exactly. But that's the thing. Like you said, some people I think are too loyal to hating the gaffer, loving the gaffer.
Yeah, but there's loyalty and stupidity, DG, isn't there?
You said it there.
There's
But I
loyalty
think
in
it's
being
the club.
unrealistic.
It's the
There's
club.
loyalty.
Obviously, I ain't got
You can
Arsenal
be
badge on,
loyal.
bro.
You can be loyal and realistic, or you like I like to think I am, but you can be loyal and
No,
unrealistic.
you're a man that
That's
calls
the
a spade a
difference.
spade.
You know, you can be loyal and realistic. I think that's the Gooner channel. Listen, Gooner channel. I hope you've tried that sandwich, my friend. Because if you haven't, I'm coming to get you. He knows what I'm talking. He knows what I'm talking about.
I need to get him on the
about.
platform as well, man. I need to DM him because I fucking love his content, man. I fucking love his content. But people, we're gonna get out of here. You know where to find DJB. DJB, legend. Kenny Ken and DJB will be together
we'll be
next
back
week.
Wednesday. DG.
Exactly. Wednesday. Yeah. Wednesday 4-ish. We're here again.
I've checked my workout. My workload's calming down a bit. I'll be here Wednesday. And
then I guess Wednesday, if I jump ahead, provided there's nothing, well, I don't know what would be in the news with us.
We'll be looking ahead towards the Spurs game, won't we?
Yeah, exactly. The Spurs game will be everything. So man. Again, DJB's told you about his content when he drops channels and when he drops on his channel and things of that.
Yeah, come and have a look.
In the title.
Sub anyway. It don't cost nothing.
Sub anyways. It's in the title. You don't need to type in the Arsenal Huddle. It's in the title of this video. Click it, support it, and all of that sort of stuff. And on that note, D.
Yeah, big up people. You. Stay safe, everyone, in this rain. Be careful. Come on.
And on that note, big up everyone. Enjoy your Fridays, man.
Like